Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us for this segment, we have Rines, initial contributor at CoreDAO, to discuss what's being done to solve for Bitcoin's network congestion. Rich, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Thanks again for having me, Jill.
You got it. In the midst of the current bear market in the digital asset industry, Bitcoin has begun 2023 on a positive note, with the price of the world's largest digital token up roughly 60% year to date. Can you unpack the factors behind this?
Yeah, great question. So I think we're seeing what amounts to both a renaissance and a revolution in the Bitcoin space right now. On the renaissance side, we're seeing more and more demand for Bitcoin's traditional use case as an alternative to the traditional financial system. Let's recall back to Bitcoin being born out of the ashes of the great financial crisis, obviously a time of great economic uncertainty, not unlike today. Obviously, there's different drivers today, whether it be increasing inflation, unpredictable Fed monetary policy, et cetera. But Bitcoin is really, it's meant to be a safe haven asset. And what we're seeing is it really live up to that use case and perform quite well in these uncertain times, with its hard monetary policy being being uncensorable, unseizable money protected by digital signatures. So it's been awesome to watch that play out as it really kind of comes into its own more and more. And of course, its correlation with gold is up on the year, where it is, of course, digital gold. On the revolution side, what we're seeing more and more demand for new use cases on top of Bitcoin. And again, we've seen NFTs and new tokens also launching on Bitcoin recently.
Rich, let's talk about those new use cases and explain to us the recent congestion on the Bitcoin network, skyrocketing transactions as a result of the BRC20 tokens. How has that impacted Bitcoin's long-term sustainability?
So happy to double click on that. So two of the main use cases that we've seen so far are NFTs in the form of ordinals and some others, which again is a minting process. And that minting, of course, takes up block space in the Bitcoin network, which of course is the ultimate commodity that Bitcoin is offering. We're also seeing new token standards emerge, and these new token standards are unlocking a whole bunch of new use cases, whether they be tokenized stocks, real world assets, or just other, kind of financial instruments. Together, this increased demand through this minting process has led to a tremendous amount of congestion on the Bitcoin network. It's back to a good spot now, but we saw it peak at hundreds of thousands of transactions backlogged, fees spiking to very high levels, Binance shutting off withdrawals for a while. And that sort of congestion makes it quite difficult to use the chain. It also makes it also does some positives, though, at the same time. And what we've seen is a resurgence in Bitcoin mining, which, of course, had a very difficult 2022 with several notable public bankruptcies. But watching the Bitcoin miner rejuvenation has been awesome for a number of reasons. One of which is that we know that over time, Bitcoin block rewards are going to go to zero with this process called the halvening, which has been a traditional catalyst for these Bitcoin bull runs. But with these increased fees, the miners themselves are able to, again, continue to expand and invest in Bitcoin security for the long term. So overall, I don't think that meme coins or NFTs are the long-term solution to that, but we are seeing a glimpse at what that future might look like, where we survive on just transaction fees, which I think is very bullish for Bitcoin in the long run.
While this debate ensues, what's being done to solve for Bitcoin's network congestion, and has or will any good come from this? What is CoreDAO's relationship with the Bitcoin network?
That's a great question, Jill. So CoreDAO's relationship to the Bitcoin network is that it's a new blockchain that is powered by Bitcoin. So what it does is it inherits the security properties of Bitcoin while enabling new smart contracts, kind of similar more to what we see in the Ethereum ecosystem on top of Bitcoin. And what we're trying to do is part of that is to unlock these hundreds of billions in underutilized assets on top of the Bitcoin chain. And there's also, other interesting projects like Stacks, Lightning, that are also trying to solve Bitcoin scalability issues just in different ways, whether it's, going after medium of exchange like Lightning or kind of a layered architecture like Stacks. But at the end of the day, everyone is trying to continue to give back to Bitcoin and find ways to scale it, maybe while leaving the original Bitcoin base layer ossified. So continue to protect those hundreds of billions in digital assets it currently secures.
Okay, Rich, appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq.
Thanks again, Jill.